Hey, welcome to Backyard Bows. I'm Brandon, and today we finally have a Sanlida Dragon, which has been requested by you guys an absolute ton. This is the newest one, so this is the Sanlida Dragon 10. The first time we did the Amazon bows, or kind of like online bows, I ordered like 6 of them knowing that I could just send them back, and we ended up going with like the Tidewee for various reasons. And then this was brought to my attention by you guys, so I read all the comments on everything, every platform we have, especially the YouTube stuff. So somebody suggested this and it brought it to my attention, and after looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So we ordered one almost immediately. So if you ever have a suggestion for us, please, we'll try to do our best to get our hands on it. But I love the comments, interaction, stuff like that. So I read them all. 2 other things. First, this is a Chinese made bow that you can buy online. I'm not condoning buying things that are Chinese made. I love things that are American made. I'm an American through and through. That doesn't mean that this isn't being manufactured, and that doesn't also mean that you have consumers here in the United States that aren't buying these things up like crazy, which I know for a fact they are. Okay, so that's another thing that Backyard Bows has opened my eyes to, is how many guys are going online buying these really inexpensive bows, not just buying them and shooting them in the backyard for practice and because they're interested in archery, but putting them in the field and harvesting stuff. It would blow you away. And the more I've done backyard bows, the more I've realized that these bows are getting put in use and that they're selling the shit out. So again, I love American made stuff, but even those for you who are like, I only buy American made stuff, no, you don't, okay? There's some part of that chain of manufacturing that the process was not done in America, and that's just kind of the way it is, and that's how our government's run, and that's just reality, okay? So as much as you want to buy everything American made, and some companies do a fantastic job of keeping it all in-house, that's, for the majority, that's just not reality. But let's jump right into it. First thing you notice is what? Looks like a Hoyt. Okay, it's like somebody hacked into the, no pun intended, hacked into the Hoyt database and stole a whole bunch of ideas, because this looks exactly like a Hoyt. We had it in the bow shop the other day, and some guy thought this was like a new Hoyt prototype that they were coming out with, and we had to tell him, no, this is a Chinese-made online bow that you can buy on Amazon. But it does look like a Hoyt. The riser looks like a Hoyt. The dampeners look exactly like Hoyt's. The grip is identical to like the Hoyt Torex. But so the whole bow, you can get it on Amazon. You can find it online, $440. It's not a ready to hunt package like most of them are. You have a 50, 60 pound option, 60 to 70 pound option for the 3 different color options. And then that's it. So the specs, it has some really nice specs. 6.4 inches on the brace height, 33.5 axle to axle, 5 pounds, shoots an IBO 340. The only thing that I thought was, that is gonna not benefit everybody is it only gets 27 out to 30.5 increments. So if you're shorter or longer, you're not gonna be able to purchase this one. And it has an 80% let off. So back to the riser, it's actually a really nice riser. CNC 661 aluminum riser and cams. It's really well made. I like the finish on it. It has like a little sandpaper grip finish, has aluminum limb pockets, roller guard, a ball bearing solid roller guard, the dampeners in between the limbs. It also has these dampeners built into the riser. Right above and below those 2 dampeners built into the riser, there's spaces for your quiver, 1-piece or 2-piece. This thing is really well put together. And then you have this cam system, which has that rotating module on every half-inch increments from 27 out to 30. You also have the adjustment of that limb stop. Something else cool that I noticed on, in case you're using some kind of ham ski or limb-driven rest, it has this little spot down here. It's like a little metal hook onto the back, which you can hook that onto so it's not hooked onto your limb. First glance, it's really solid, okay? Let's shoot it. And that's gonna be kind of the big thing today is for $440, it drives me crazy. I feel like Prime kind of did it, but it was still expensive, the Ronin. It's like, can we not get some really, really solid bows from some of these other companies that are just really affordable? I mean, this looks like a flagship bow. It has the quality of a flagship bow. We will see how it performs. I feel like there's that big market that we could keep here in-house if some of these companies would just kind of open up their eyes. Because I'll tell you what, the majority of hunters are blue-collar guys that are not going to spend more than $1,000, and that even is a lot. Guys are jumping at the bit at this thing. Okay, I've already ran into like 2 or 3 guys that said they just bought this. So it has nice weight to it. It is 5 pounds, so all dressed up. It has some nice substance, which I like. It did have something else. It was shimmed, so it has a shim, these plastic shims top and bottom. It also has a split yoke on top. I'm telling you, all around, it looks nice. We have it at 30 inches, which is right at the end. The draw cycle, there's nothing bad I've noticed about it. It's a little dump at the end, okay, a little jerk. It's pretty linear, it's not too stiff. A little bit of feeling in your hand, but the shot cycle is nice and clean. It's like sour and sweet, you know? It's like, man, I love having this in here. I love shooting this bow. I hate that it's Chinese made. It's like, why is somebody not jumping on this part of the market? This is a very nice bow for 440 bucks. And that's just the truth of it. Again, longevity. I haven't had it for a really long time. Don't know how it performs over time, but right off of the bat, the draw cycle's nice. It wants to hold in full draw well. It does have like a little kick to your hand, but the shot cycle's nice and clean. I like the way the arrow comes off of it. Let's go shoot a whole bunch. Something I've been thinking since I've had this in here is I'm gonna have to now try the Dragon, the Sanlida Dragon 8 or 9 or whatever it is, the ones that have been you know, on the market for a long time. Just because this one, I mean, I don't think they're gonna be comparable. I think this is definitely an upgrade, but man, I've liked this so much that it makes me want to try those other ones. So here we'll go, we'll do a whole bunch of shots out here. Right here, we got a board at 25 bucks at 30. So, you know, most bows, the first couple draws can be stiff, especially if it hasn't been drawn in a bow shop. And these ones, I'm assuming, get put in a box and then shipped out. And like, but this thing has opened up a lot. So from that first little dump and jerk it gave me at the beginning, the draw cycle has smoothed out really nicely. I mean, that's, it's smoothed out nicely. It feels like more like 65 pounds, so it's nice, you know, it's a nice pull, but it doesn't feel like 700. It's not very harsh. I'm really eager to see what that 340 IBO turns out to be with that 500 grain arrow. Let's do one more shot from over here. We'll go buck, quarter, and Toomey. I feel like I can place these on the button. All right, so here we'll run that 3D ladder. I'm gonna shut up and shoot because I want to, before I sit down and give you a grade, I wanna shoot this a little bit more than we do with the other ones. I just wanna see how it holds up after, you know, 250 shots through it. If I'm getting that same, you know, feel that I'm getting now, and kind of that, those first impressions are good. I just wanna make sure that those stick around. The hold is super nice. The bow balances really well. It has a great balance to it. You got this little front bridge, the whole bow itself, and I got a little Hoyt stabilizer on there, but even without it, it seemed to balance really nice in my hand. And it doesn't have the widest limbs and limb pockets. Like, it's just a, I mean, but it does, it balances really nice. When you get to full draw, it sets up. I mean, I'm having no problem climbing this ladder. You know, I think what we all want to know is, am I getting scammed? You know, am I going to purchase this thing? Well, you know, you really can't be scammed on Amazon because you can always return it. You know, that's kind of the beauty of getting something shipped to you from Amazon. You don't like it? They don't even ask you why, really. You just return it. But I'll tell you what, I think if you were to get this in your hands, I think you'd be really surprised right off the bat at the quality. Came out of the box, I was like, oh man, this is really well put together. And then now, just after shooting up to 40 yards, this is a shooter. Let's set up for some of these longer shots. All right, so now we'll go Mama Black Bear. And then we'll do that full draw stall, and that I'm kind of eager about the full draw stall too. And I don't know if you can I never can know if you tell on camera, but like it's pretty quick holds. You know, it's a quick draw and release, and I feel really comfortable. All right, so now full draw stall, which is our kind of in-house stability test. We'll do 1 minute hold. And I mentioned this before, but I like to keep I like to be like if a deer is spooked staring at me, I'm having to hold. Try not to move. You know, there's positions you can hold your bow in at full draw that make it a little easier. Try to be perfectly set up to where you want to take a shot. And then after 1 minute, let one go. I like to do it at 40. If you really want to tell, go 90 at 50. Okay, 1 minute. Well, I felt comfortable. It's like a pulsating in the limbs. You can kind of feel it rocking back on you, but the bow never lost stability really. It just kind of, I had to be mindful that it was tugging on me. So let's go up to 50. All right, favorite shots of the day. Elk up on the hill at 50. This is my daydreaming shots. I'm gonna take this shot and think about how many times I've repped this out. Thousands, you know. I'm gonna take this shot one day, and it's gonna be a sweet moment. Heart shot. I would say this bow holds and shoots better than most flagship bows. You can think whatever you want. My only thing would be go just test bows. I was doing this way before I ever bought a camera. You know, just loving different bows and getting to shoot different bows and see the different feel. I mean, this is a great bow. It hurts me to say it because I know so many people are going to be purchasing this bow from a different country and giving our money somewhere else when we really should be, you know, spending it here in the homeland. But I can't lie. I mean, this is a shooter. This is an absolute shooter. That one was a little wobbly, but I'm also getting a little fatigued. Let's see if we can't match that first one. And then let's also do what I call a quick 50, which is just try to draw and shoot as quickly as you can, dial those pins down as fast as you can. I mean, right from the beginning, a really nice pull, okay? So you're gonna get some good speeds, which we'll go inside and see. But for those speeds, I feel like this is also like a comfort shooter. There's a little bit of tug at the end, you know, at that back wall. It does want to pull on you a little bit, but it's nice enough that you feel comfortable setting up. It dials down. The balance of the bow is very, very nice. That's like one of the first things I noticed, that all around balance of the bow. But I would say full shot experience from the draw to the hold to the release. You cannot, for the price, beat it. There's nothing out there that would probably shoot like this for $450. And that says a lot because I really like that adapt from Bear. But I think you're getting a more complete bow for sure. Let's go see what the speed and sound is. I would say before even these last two tests, like I'm impressed. I love the recommendation. So whoever referred this to me, I appreciate it. Because like I said, I try to be aware of everything that's going on, but I just can't. Some things slip by me. This is a nice bow. I think the only thing I don't like about it is this colored desert. It reminds me of that PSE, what I called milk. It's ugly, but black or wilderness, I'm sure it would be fine. Let's go 500 grain arrow. This will be for that speed test for that part of the grade. 500 grain arrow, 30-inch draw, 80% let off, 70 pounds. $270. I hope it climbs. I hope it gets a 7 out of 10. I think it deserves it. We will see. But since it's right there on the cusp of 70, we're gonna have to shoot a couple to see if it stays in the 70 or 60. 278. Okay, now I personally feel like that shot was more perfect center on that chronograph. It could be closer to 280. 340 on the IBO, it should be right around 280. 279. I'm gonna go ahead and just give it the 7 out of 10. That's an awesome speed, and that's right what I always look for. Okay, right around 280. Let's go heavier arrow first this time. So now we have brass insert, same arrow, 560 grains. 266. And then we'll do this lighter arrow, which is 440 grains, 400 spine, full metal jacket. It's gonna be 293. 298. I'm not giving it a grade right now, but you got a very well-made bow. The price is incredible. You can't beat it. It gets some fantastic speeds. It performed very well outside. And I know it's gonna eat some of you up that it's a Chinese-made bow. There's a part of me that don't like it either, but I know there's guys out there that just want the best performing bow for the best price, because that's just what they can afford. And like I said in the very beginning, I think it's so much more important as an avid outdoorsman, something that I think is the most special thing that we have here in the United States. The biggest gift we can give ourselves. If this is what, if it's buying a Chinese bow that gets you out into the field and gets you able to experience that, go for it. Go for it. All right, let's get a decibel reading. We got 3 arrows. What's the spec so? Just kind of right above that lower average that we've been getting. Yeah, I would say right around 92 is probably a good guesstimate. Okay, finally, Sanlida, which so many of you have requested. So finally I get one in. I'm gonna touch on a whole bunch. First of all, I wanna say, like, when I always order a bow or I get something in that I've never shot before, I have all these expectations and assumptions. So I love backyard bows because I feel like that's something that we do well, is clear the assumption. And even within myself, I do it all the time. I assume something and then I get it in here and I'm either really surprised or a little disappointed. With this one, it blew my expectations out of the water. All around, okay? From every part of this bow, I was not expecting this. I think quality, number one, very nice on the quality, okay? 2, the speeds it got was very accurate comparatively to the IBO, and then also extremely comfortable at full draw. So the stability right off of the bat was very nice, which we know is the most important. So let's just, first of all, let's just do the grade. 278, wish it would have got a 280. I think it deserves an 8 out of 10, but it gets a 7 out of 10 to start. Awesome speed. I also want to point out that it kept really nice speeds on both the heavier and the lighter grain arrow, maybe 3 to 4 feet per second per other bows that got the same 500 grain speed. I give it an 8 out of 10 for quality, which I'm shocked just saying it. Like, I feel like it deserves it. Really nice machine riser. I mean, the limb pockets are nice. The dampening mechanisms are nice. Roller guard. Cam systems are nice and machined aluminum. I mean, the whole thing is a very well put together bow. It is very solid. Copying kind of that Hoyt middle bridge. They have it on the back side, this has it on the front, but the stability is just awesome. Very solid, okay? I'm gonna go 8 on the appeal. I like the way it looks. I hate this color. It looks like milk from PSE. I think I mentioned that earlier, but I think if it was in black or the wilderness color, I think it'd be hard to tell that this was not a Hoyt. I mean, this is just, it's just all around well put together. I feel like they had somebody come in from the outside and help them design and make this. I swear they had to have. 6 for technology, okay? So we're just right on that basic bare minimum. I wish it got a little bit longer draw lengths. I think a lot of people are gonna miss out on this one. And then performance, I gave it an 8. I think this was one of the better shooting bows all around, flagship, budget, right from the bat. I was surprised. Pleasantly surprised. And for those of you who are out there who are on the fence about buying this, I know this is gonna throw you over. I mean, props to them though. Props to them. It sucks. It was the you know, another country to realize that there was a huge gap in the market, but I mean, they did, and look what they did. They created something very nice that a lot of people are gonna end up buying. It saddens me a little bit. I feel like there's a little bit of greed. You know, in this sport that's growing so fast, I feel like the prices are getting absurd. And I know the cost of doing things has gotten more, but I think some people have stretched that. And I think we're gonna see like this kind of stuff. It's like, man, a lot of people are gonna revert back to just like, I'm gonna go spend $440 and use a bow that I feel like is gonna last. I mean, this thing's gonna hold up. It's a very nice, well-made bow, and it performs. I mean, I wouldn't have any thoughts about taking this into the field tomorrow. You know, and I know, and again, I'm not telling you where to spend your money or what to do with your money. We're here to just review products and tell you some honest feedback. And I don't know how, I can assume why another country is able to make this as cheaply as they can. But the reality is, it's out there and it's available and people are gonna buy them. And it's a shooter, I'm not gonna lie. You get a 37, times it by 2, I mean, you're at 74. It gets to make up 3 bonus points because of the price. I love that we do the price bonus points. $440. Between 0 and $500, you get to make up 3 extra points. That's one of the best, most honest, you know, grades that I feel like we've given, and it deserves it. The bow, this bow deserves it. And hopefully this was helpful for you. I love doing these. I'm never gonna stop. This is just something that I have found it's so enjoyable for me. I love new stuff, and it seems to be like every time I turn around, there's something new. So we'll just keep reviewing them, and hopefully you guys keep watching them. Give us your feedback. If you've shot one of these, I wanna know what you think too. See you next time.